we kind of did a rebuild on this engine. I mean, I didn't really rebuild it. I just put new head gaskets on it, and the block was from the junkyard. We did have to change some rod bearings because I noticed that some of them were loose, kind of knocking. So I've already put 1,000 miles on the engine since I've put it back in the car, and I want to drain the oil, kind of see what material is in the oil, if there is any, and then put some new fresh oil, a little bit of thicker oil because I did run 530, and I feel like there is kind of a little bit of a slight rod knock on startup. Once it builds oil pressure and gets warm, it goes away. So I do want to check the oil and see what it looks like. The best way to do it too is to filter it, and I've tried it with paper towels before and it didn't work. So I was looking in this power steering pump because I am going to rebuild it, but since I only have one car, this is my main car right now, I don't want it to be down for long. So we're not going to do that today. Once I get another car from the auction, then we'll pull this off. But I noticed that it has this little like filter cup in there. So what I'm going to do is drain the oil and then try and funnel some of the oil through here and see what kind of metal we can catch in this little plastic container. So let's drain the oil and then we'll run it through this. We've got our drain pan and 17mm socket on our ratchet. Take off our drain plug. And we'll drain all of this oil into the drain pan, and then we will pour it into a bucket, and then we'll run it through the little filter. And so far, the oil does not look bad. It is kind of brown. For only 1,000 miles, I mean, it's pretty dirty. All right. Okay, we'll let that drain out, and then we will pop the filter off. All the oil is drained. Plug going back in. Tighten that down. Okay, and now we can take our filter off. I don't think the oil is supposed to look like that. Hopefully we can get enough oil through here. So it's kind of working, I guess. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do all of the oil, but, you know, we'll see how much of it we can pass through this little filter. And this is what we got. I don't know if you guys can see it in there. Way at the bottom there. Yep, that looks like metal to me. I'll try and pull that out with a napkin. See, or put it on this white cardboard here. I was able to pull some of that stuff out, and you won't believe what it is. It's like varnish, like oil varnish. That block came from a junkyard engine, and I noticed inside of it was tons of varnish. So honestly, our oil is doing its job. It's cleaning the inside of the engine. And I don't know, hopefully the filter is capturing most of that stuff, but those were pretty big chunks. You could see I spread it out right here, and it was just kind of like breaking apart. It wasn't metal. There is tiny little specks of it in there, but nothing I should worry about. So I think we're good. Now that I don't have any cars to work on, I've got some cash. So let's go pick up a toolbox. And I wanted to show you guys why I decided to make my daily an old Subaru wagon. Because pickup trucks nowadays are expensive. The gas is not getting any cheaper. And it snows here in Colorado, so having a vehicle that's all-wheel drive is beneficial. And this is what makes a Subaru amazing. So that opens, and then the seat, if you pull this little tab here, folds down. But in order to get more space, let me move this stuff out of the way. If you pull this little tab here, the seat goes up. This is in the way. Okay, the seat bottom goes up, and then these fold down even more. Now, isn't that just convenient? And I never knew what these little hooks were for on the back of the seat, but they hook into the bottom of there. And then these have a little switch here that releases the headrest. You plug them back in, and now essentially you have an enclosed pickup truck. Subaru got a little thirsty on the way up to get this toolbox, but it fit in the back no problem. And there it is, 75 bucks, and it came with some extra stuff, but we're gonna take it back to the shop and get a little more organized and clean it up. What a deal. We made it back in one piece. That was quite a drive. So it's gotten a bit darker since the last time you guys saw. Toolbox is in the back of the Subi, so we got to unload it. As you can see, I'm very unorganized right now still. So I wanted to get a toolbox, 75 bucks. It was a great deal, and it came with a power box that goes on top that has outlets in it. It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna unload that, and then I'm gonna sit down and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some things that are going on with the auctions and kind of the future of me and the channel. Way better than what I had going on before. This thing is amazing for $75, and everything is nicely organized. It fits perfectly. All of my tools. Did make some little things like that, foam holder there, but everything has fit in here, as well as other tools that I had just laying around in other areas. But all my torque wrenches and then bigger stuff in here, and my diagnostic cabinet. Put some lights inside of there. You can change the colors. So it's got this little power bank here, so now I can charge all my stuff. Got the Milwaukee up there and all my lights. All right, now let's talk about some stuff. First thing I want to talk about is a little bit about myself. About 2 years ago, October or September of 2023, I was released from jail after doing about 2 years of sitting on my butt, doing nothing with my life. What got me in there was I committed some crimes, nothing that I am proud of. I did pay my debts. I'm still paying my debts to society. In the 2 years since I've been out, I have made major steps forward into bettering myself and my life. Over 3 years sober now. So that is a major milestone for me. Something I am very proud of and would like to continue for the rest of my life. That brings me to why I decided to do YouTube and flipping cars and all that stuff. So I do have a full-time job, but my dream has always been to do something with cars, whether it be own a performance shop, which was one of my biggest dreams for a while there. I realized that it takes a lot to do that, and you got to build a lot of clientele, and it takes time. The next thing I decided was, why don't I fix up cars, which is something I love doing anyways, and then sell them. I can buy them at a cheaper price because they're mechanically or cosmetically damaged. And that's what got me into this whole flipping cars thing. I found an auction that I used to go through, and that is where I bought my first 5 vehicles from, which was the Subaru, the Suzuki, the Toyota, the Mercedes, and the Mazda, all in that order. I have since got rid of all the cars except for one, which is the Subaru right here, because this is the one that I wanted to keep from the beginning. It took me a while to get all those cars going and sold, and they are finally gone. So I did make some money. I've got a little bit of cash in my pocket, And I'd also decided that doing the YouTube thing on the side would just be fun to document everything that I do, maybe teach somebody something if they're interested in this type of work. And for me, it's just fun. I enjoy doing it, and as long as you guys keep watching, I will keep making videos. Of course, it would be nice to become successful and have a big channel and all that stuff, but that is not the main focus here. The main focus is just to have fun and keep doing the car stuff, which I have been doing. I have run into a little bit of an issue. I have been banned from the auction that I purchased from. The reason I purchased from that auction is because they are not dealer license required. They typically have a pretty good selection of cars. The prices are honestly very good. You can find some really good deals. Their fees aren't astronomically outrageous like Copart or any of those other big auction houses. I made a mistake of a few weeks ago bidding on 2 cars while still having my shop full, and I actually won both of those cars. Logistically, it was not smart. Financially, I had the money, but logistically, it wasn't smart. I had to pick them up on 2 separate days. I had to make a payment on one day, then the next day pick them up. Full-time job interfered with my scheduled hours, so I wasn't able to do that. Well, if you don't buy the cars or pick them up, they ban you for life. So I'm a little bit of a predicament here. I cannot buy cars from the auction that I used to anymore. I'm currently looking into other options and seeing what's out there. As of now, I've not found anything yet. We're gonna go old school. We're gonna jump on Marketplace, Craigslist, and word of mouth and try and buy cars that way, which is something that can still be done. I am actually going to go look at a car today, so I will take you guys with me so you guys can see the steps on what I look for when buying a car. And so yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to let you guys know as far as the channel and moving forward. It's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle, but I am ready. I have been through a lot. I will not give up. Success is my only option. That is what we are here to do, is to be a successful business and grow. So I hope you guys will stick around. If you are liking the video so far, give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, please think about subscribing. It helps me out a lot. If you are chasing your dreams, don't give up. Keep pushing. You only have one life to live. Let's continue on the Subaru and get back to work. So I'm draining the fluid out of the washer reservoir because recently the rear window washer pump decided to quit on me after I had already fixed it and had it going. So we're going to fix that right now. All right, it's free. Now we can individually test our pumps. Got our top diag J-Diag P100 hooked up to our battery here. You can see it runs off of the car's battery power. And then we are going to plug it into these to test them out. This thing is really cool. I suggest you go and get one. I got this one on Black Friday. It was on sale from like $100 and something to $60. And I literally have not used it at all. So we're going to plug one of our test leads to ground and check the voltage. So we've got power there. And then we hit our switch. And we can see that it's good. Now we'll test this one that's not working. And this will just confirm that it's either the pump or the circuit. Nothing. Voltage drop, and we are not getting any power from this pump. So let's pull this out and we'll take it apart, see what it looks like inside. And we'll grab our other ones we got from the junkyard and test those, make sure that they're actually good. Well, our connections are different, so that might be a problem. I got 2 from the junkyard. This is the other one I got. I have not tested either one of these to see if they're good. Nothing. So this pump is no good. Let's try this one out. Okay, we're hooked up correctly. That one is good. This is our good one. This is the bad one from the junkyard, and this is the bad one from the car. I did take this apart, and I kind of sealed it back up with RTV. So let's pop it open and see what happened with it, why it failed again. And then I got to figure out a way to get this connector to fit on this guy. I got this thing taken apart. Apparently, I forgot you can't go through the bottom, which is evidenced by me completely destroying it. You go in through where this little switch is because I RTV'd it last time I fixed it. Last time I fixed it, these are the contacts that go around the windings there, and that's what gives it power and spins it. And what I did was I filed these down because they were corroded. I also tried to clean that up a bit in there, and it worked for a while, but I mean, it doesn't look corroded anymore, so it's just the motor is just bad at this point. But that's all right because we have this other one. Now I'm going to see if I can retrofit this into this guy here because the connection is different. If not, I will just wire it up manually without a connector, and that's how we'll run this guy. Yeah, it is not looking too hot inside of this one, but I was able to get this piece off. So let's see if we can get this one out without breaking it. You can see that it's wired in, so we're not gonna be able to connect this good one. So we're gonna have to just wire it manually, but I'm gonna clean this up and put some RTV on there so it doesn't leak or get wet inside. And then we will run some wires from this to the connector. Perfect. Come over to my little electrical engineering box. This is why I hoard connectors and old wires. And let's see, look, we got some red wire here and some black wire. Perfect. Little harness that I made up. This side will plug into the pump, and this will plug into the factory connector on the Subaru. So let's plug it up and see if this actually works. Power probe connected. Perfect. It works perfectly. Make sure our little hose is plugged in. All right, plugged on the rear. And we gotta run this one through there. And now our front one is connected. And then we're gonna hook up our little ghetto harness that we made. And that is right here. Look at that, plugs in perfectly. All right, now I'm gonna fill it and bolt it in, and then we will test it out. Hopefully this works. One more thing I want to do before we head out to go check out that car that I found on Facebook, and it's wanting to change these fog lights here. The bulbs are regular halogens and I want to put LEDs in it. And I have a bunch of LEDs left over from other cars that I never installed, and I want to see if they'll fit. So let's pull that fog light out and see if one of our headlights will fit in there. We got to dive back into our electrical engineering box. And in here, I have tons of LED stuff. These are like sequential turn signals that I do eventually want to install on the Subaru. And then these are like, what's that? This is that headlight goop that you put to seal headlights with. But here are some LED lights. Here's some angel eyes. I got more LEDs in here, and I got LEDs in here. LEDs galore. Let's see which ones fit. These are the ones I found that fit perfectly. It's almost like they were made for it, and the plug, the connector, is actually the same style as what's on the Subaru. And these were sent out to me a long time ago by these guys right here, Oxido. They sent me a pair of headlights for the CLK, the Mercedes that we just sold, and this pair for a Camry that I had, but I ended up pulling these out of. And obviously they just sat there, but these things are super bright, and I forgot I had them. They're very, very good LED light bulbs. They're not like the typical ones you find on Temu or Amazon that are like 20, 30, 10 bucks. These are like $90 to $100 LED headlights, but I'm telling you guys the difference, I mean, it's crazy. So shout out to Oxido for sending me these again. And I will link the video down below that I made on installing these and the differences. So here we have an ugly yellow halogen and a nice white LED. Fixed. So I found this Audi on Marketplace that I wanted to go check out. I loaded up my OBD scanner and some tools, and we're going to hop in the Subi and go check it out. Now, this is quite embarrassing. While I was pulling the car out, wanted to show how the headlights and the fog lamps worked since I put those new LEDs in, but pulling out turned a little too much, and yeah, I hit the wall. We are on our way to check out a potential flip. I gotta go pick up one of my buddies. He's gonna come with me, and we're gonna see what this pile of junk looks like. Hopefully it's in decent condition. It does need some work, but what is a flip if it doesn't need work? So let's go check it out. And yes, I did slightly crash the car exiting the garage. It's okay, we're gonna paint the whole car white anyways, but now it has a scratch on the front bumper. Oh well. We are back from looking at that car, and if you look around, it's still just me and the Subaru. That car was okay. I would have bought the car. Actually, I was literally counting the cash and setting up a tow when the guy pulled out the title, and that's where we started to have issues. He had signed the title, as well as the person that he purchased the car from had also signed the title. So with that being said, There was no way I could buy it like that. I told him if he went to the DMV and got the title switched over to his name, that I would gladly come back with the tow truck and bring the car to the shop. But in that position, being in that position, it was better just to walk away. So I decided to walk. We didn't get a car today, but there are still plenty of more cars I want to look at this week. And we're just gonna keep searching until we can find another flip. It's gonna be a little bit harder than just going to the auction and buying something there. But honestly, I really do like being able to just go look at the car in person and, you know, having a better idea and a feel for what the car might need. So I am gonna end the video on that note. I know that this video wasn't typically what you guys are used to seeing on the channel, but sometimes you gotta switch it up a little bit, and I kind of want to do more of this where I interact more with the camera and with you guys. So if you did like the video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't. I need all the subscribers and help I can get. Like always, I enjoy you guys' comments, and any kind of input you guys have, let me know down below. I read it all and I will reply back to you. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.